Welcome to another episode of URC Chumps. We're on episode 79. We have the team together. Absolutely amazing. As you can see, we're kind of representing two of the main teams. I'm just wearing an old rugby jersey, and Dutchy's trying to be a ref, but we'll have to give him a TMO review afterwards. Dara, since you're wearing probably one of the most shocking victories for this weekend, how are you doing?
Great. Absolutely fantastic. I got 3 from 3. Perfect weekend. Spurs didn't play either. What a
They're
weekend.
playing tonight. Well,
They're not
they're
tomorrow
playing this
night,
week.
thank God.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the other shocking victory, the one below me. Tim, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic, man. And just want to say big ups to Dara for putting on an Italian jersey, being Irish, even though his team won this weekend. So big ups to him for winning the Italian one. I'm rocking the Scottish one due to the fact that they overthrew a French side. Didn't just overthrow them, they actually dominated them. But we'll get to that. So I thought I'd rep a Scot.
Yeah. And probably not the luck of the Irish or the Highlander, but the guy up north in South Africa. Dutchy, how are you doing, man?
Well, I've got my two fugly friends here that always smiling. And unfortunately, I don't have a Scottish or Italian jersey, so I'm in my referee jacket. So I'm happy. How are you
I'm
doing?
representing Martin. I'm fantastic. It's been one hell of a week, and I am so stoked. This weekend of rugby was like blowing my mind. It was so like, I don't even. I think the best way to say it is I think we actually really need to get into the episode and actually discuss what actually happened, because I am so excited to talk about it. As I said, welcome to this episode of URC Chumps podcast. We are so glad to have you here with us today. But what we are really talking about is, well, not the first game. The first game was kind of expected to do that. Ireland beating Wales, though a prop made the Irish backline look like they were running backwards.
Hang on. This man, like I said before we started the pod, this man deserves a medal. He threw a dummy, handed off, beat an oak on the outside, and then beat a winger for pace, did the slide in, and then on top of it did the finger wiggle. He did the finger wiggle just on top of it.
It was about a 25-meter run there.
Yeah, bro. Props dream. It's a rugby fan's dream. Good on him. Good on him.
No, if you ask him, he ran 50 meters.
If you ask Reece Carey today, he ran 50 meter. By tomorrow, he'll have ran 70 to score that try. So,
yeah, 100%. It's like that old fishing tales, how big the fish was. You know what I mean? It starts off
this big.
Size fish. By the time of it, you tell the fourth friend it's a monster.
Yeah, fair play to him. Fair play to Wales.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Ireland weren't up to much, but Wales made 244 tackles on Friday, which is a hell of an effort, regardless of how good or bad you are. Alex Mann made 33 tackles.
That's right.
Both of them made 27. I think Ben Carter made 26. Dewi Lake made 24. Those are just mad, mental numbers.
It's insane numbers, right? I mean, the work rate of those players in the Welsh setup was insane on the weekend. And it's unfortunate. Ireland were just better. But you can't deny the fact that Wales just left everything out there.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's what Wales have been looking for, isn't it? Not to be
correct,
not to beat Ireland, not to beat the best sides in the world, but to do that. Like again, when they played, when they played South Africa in the autumn, when they played England in round one, when they played France in round two, didn't show any pride in the jersey. They've really shown that they should have beaten Scotland, and they drove Ireland really, really close. They made us really worry, and then Ireland's third try is very fortunate to be given, in my opinion. I think that's very iffy. I think Conan could have easily had that disallowed. But, you know, Ireland's attack, literally, you cannot just continuously be on the defence all game, and win, usually, unless you were like so much bigger than your opposition, which Wales weren't. They did give up 4 tries, but as I said, like, the main thing I would have had against Wales is they had a chance in the 78 minutes to take a shot to bring it back to 7, which meant if they had won with a bonus point this weekend coming, they could have got off 6th in the table. They didn't take it and they didn't score the try. So they're going to finish 6th because of points difference. But yeah, it's a hell of an effort from Wales. You do feel they were actually unlucky not to get a losing bonus. And yeah, as I said, Rhys Carré, for a guy who was called too fat by Warren Gatland only 2 years ago in Wales camp, has scored the prop try of all prop tries. And when he's in the nursing home in 50 years' time.
Up there with the tries of the season.
I was about to say contention for a try of the season.
It doesn't get much better than that. As a rugby fan, let me tell you. And you, Dora, you are bang on. Wales have been superb this Six Nations. I think they've been unlucky, but they really have shown the nation that they have pride in the jersey and they're going to stick up and they're going to front up. And the tackle numbers say that. So fair play to them. Onwards and upwards to Wales.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to say,
we can talk about this in predictions, is making 244 tackles, even with 8 days rest, that's going to have you.
Of course.
For that.
Yeah,
so that
of course. There's going to be passions to that.
But I mean, let's also be honest. The way they played against Scotland definitely looked like they've been making the way forward. To the point where they were leading at a certain point, and then they just lost it later on in the game. I think Wales is on the precipice of converting that into proper game time, which I'm hoping they do before next Six Nations, because if Italy carries on the way they're going now and everything, it is going to make this Six Nations, and I hate to say this, probably the most difficult tournament in the world. It will outdo the championship, because if you're having 6 teams of that caliber being able to win a game or two, everything, it's going to make next season's Six Nations really difficult.
Yeah, but Curbs, I'd even interject. Like, looking at Wales in the last 2 games, it looks to me like they've just got together and said, we're sick of being embarrassed. We're sick of being humiliated. We're sick of it being the laughing stock of Tier 1. And they've just decided, you know what, just even turn off tactics. Just do the things that require no skill best, because they are the least skilled team of the Six Nations and probably of the Tier 1 sphere. Bar Japan, if you include Japan as a Tier 1 nation, because they're the Nations Championship, I suppose they kind of are. Bar Japan, Wales are the least talented of them. But what you can be, you can make up for that by doing the things that don't require talent the best. And that's what Wales have done in the last 2 games. And that's why they pulled Scotland really close. And they pulled Ireland really close.
Mate. Like, to say that Wales are less...
Well, they are.
No, but I don't... Team's young, mate. They've still got to find their way.
They can, but like, it's not as much of an insult, because this was a point I was going to make when talking about Italy. Tier 1 rugby is the most talented it's ever been, ever been. The top 10 nations of the tier 1 nations, take out Japan. The top 11 nations, I think, take out Wales, Italy, and Fiji in terms of beating South Africa and France. Any of the rest of them can beat each other, and then Italy, Wales, and Fiji can probably beat anyone bar France and South Africa, is what I'd say. So, like, any of the top 4 could always beat each other. England are definitely capable of turning up, but we'll talk about them later. You know, Scotland showed it on Saturday. Argentina should have beat South Africa in the Rugby Championship. Australia did. So, like, Tier 1 rugby is as strong as it's ever been in terms of teams being able to beat each other. So it's not as much of an insult for Wales. I think they can still, like, they could have beaten Ireland, they could have beaten Scotland. They're the only 2 teams I'd rule them out against completely is South Africa and France. But they are probably the least talented. but they do have a good crop of young players coming through in terms of their under-20s are going well in the under-20s Six Nations. Like they didn't have Costello, who was very good against Scotland. They're missing one or two key players that they probably need if they want to win these games. But I think they are because traditionally it was Italy, but Italy have so much talent in their squad that I think Wales has to be crowned as last in terms of talent, not in terms of hard work. I think on Friday they were as hard working and performance as I've ever seen out of any test team ever.
Yeah.
Listen,
but I mean,
like at the same token, if you look at Wales, the average age of their team at the moment is 26 years old.
Yeah, no doubt that they can become a good side, but
I mean, you can't say they're untalented when they're 26 years old and an average team and they're competing with someone like Ireland.
Yeah, I'm not calling them untalented. I'm saying they're less talented than the other tier one nations.
The side out of the six, and I think that's a bit hard.
I think what you're not meant to say talented. I think you're just meant to say inexperienced. They don't have the experience.
Maybe, but
that comes with age.
I hope Wales prove me wrong, and they can because again, part of it is experience as well. But you look at the other five, like France are second in the world, I think. You know, France have beaten everyone in the last 5 years. Ireland have beaten everyone in the last 5 years. England, for as much of a laughing stock as they've been in the Six Nations, did win 12 games in a row before the Scotland game. And as I said, this is the most talented Italian side by far there's ever been. So I think out of the five, they are probably the least. But then again, they could go and prove me wrong if they were to beat Italy. But I think, yeah, they need to like blood in again a few more because there's very talented youngsters in Wales. And some of the guys who've shone through, Eddie James at 13 has been exceptional. Alex Mann, James Botham. But, you know, they still have holes. They still have gaps.
Of course,
in the team.
Course. I mean,
I think Rhys Sammet is the biggest one. He's not a fullback. He's either a winger or he doesn't play. He's not a fullback. Yeah. That's not his strength.
Yes, I fully agree with that statement. Rhys Sammet is.
But now, I'm going to say something, and it was exposed in the English game, and it's been exposed in a few other times. The 6-2 split for the North does not work. And I think it's the lack of being able to shift into another position as your second position that South Africa's got right. Because, I mean, we've seen it with Wales. They did it they did a 6-2 split and it didn't work for them because, of course, they didn't put the players that could.
Thank you. I think you. I'm gonna agree on certain points, but then, like, for me personally, I think it's not been used correctly time-wise by the coaching staff. So if you watch someone like Andy Farrell, when he plays the 6-2 split, then he doesn't have a problem because he sort of, like Russ, he has a better understanding of when to switch out which players and what would not get you into trouble and how you can sort of, if you do fall into trouble, what sort of things you have in place to fix that, whereas other coaches are cutting onto the 6-2 split, but they're not maybe not trusting enough in their squad, or maybe not been around their squad not long enough to know who can switch into what positions at what time, and what's the best time to switch out what players in the 6-2 split.
But we're basically saying the same thing, just in a different way. That's my whole thing is. They're not using the right players in the right positions.
Well, isn't doing it. I'm saying that Andy Farrell's probably, other than Russ, he's probably the best coach on the planet.
Yeah,
and I think he's the Irish coach. So, like, you know,
I mean, we saw it with the French. We've seen it with the Welsh. We've seen it with the Poms. The 6-2 split has. I mean, the ones that probably only got it right is actually Ireland.
Look, I think the French got it right too. I really do think the French have got it right.
And talking about that, let's talk about the French Scottish game.
And let's go, boys.
Yeah. The French Scottish game. I mean, Whoa, what a game. I must be honest, I was not expecting that. There was a point that I thought Scotland were going to let it slide. And for some odd reason, the South Africans in their team just helped push it over the line because you cannot deny
Yeah.
it. Kyle Steyn and Piers Skuman absolutely did it for them.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't for the fact that Tommaso Menoncello essentially won Italy the game on his own on Saturday, I think Kyle Steyn would have, and probably does have, a very strong case to be player of the tournament because he was man of the match against England. He was man of the match on Saturday. He was very strong against Wales, and he barely touched the ball against Italy because of the weather, but that's not up to him. The 3 games he's been able to have any input, he's been class. And Scotland were just, I mean, not only they outworked France, they better discipline than France, they had better attacking shapes than France. They were better in the tight five. They were better in the backs. They have a better 10, and
But
they're
now,
9.
you see, this is also where I'm talking about the 6-2 split because late in the second half, they had to put a forward onto the wing because they had
Yeah.
injuries. I think it was Hugh Jones. No, Carl
Yeah.
Steyn went off with the it seems like his hip or his calf. And
Yeah, well, Scotland ended up getting 3 injuries in the span of about 5 minutes after France's fourth try. Steyn went off, Jack Dempsey went off, and Scott Cummings went off, all in the span of about 3 minutes. So Scotland were just literally throwing people into positions because they were running out of guys on the bench. But I mean, that's Scotland. I think it's the most complete Scottish performance I've ever seen, and I would have watched.
No.
I mean, they're the best team Scotland have probably beaten because this French team is better than any of the English ones they've toppled. They haven't beaten South Africa and New Zealand and Ireland in years. And they stuck 50 points on them. And if there wasn't for the fact that they seemingly turned into a hospital ward in the last 20 minutes, they could have scored more. France
and stop the bonus points.
Yeah, and France have that tendency, don't they? There's still that lingering mentality of you don't know when they're going to turn. Because if you can frustrate them, and it's difficult, but South Africa did it in November and Scotland did it on Saturday. If you can frustrate them enough, they start doing the most stupid, borderline stupid things. I mean, Jagu should have been sent off, and he should get a lengthy ban.
No. Well, don't carry on with that because I have got that in later on. That is one of the talking points for afterwards.
For me, being a scrum half and watching the scrum half battle on Saturday between DuPont and White, it was, let me tell you, DuPont looked out of depth. When it didn't go his way, he performed. He acted like a absolute crap, to be fair to you. He acted like a complete idiot. He made a fool of himself.
Yeah.
That intercept try, I mean, that was a crucial moment of the game. And that was the so-called world's best who just literally threw the game away. And then got upset because the Scottish 9 said to him, "Hey, thanks, mate. We'll take that."
And then you see the forward pass in his own goal line was lunacy, and that also led to a Scottish try for Tom Jordan.
Yeah, I think
as I said, that's the lingering.
He was really, really poor. But I thought the in combo of Scotland was absolutely devastating on the weekend.
Yeah. I mean, Tim, you'll know this as well as me, probably more than Curbs and Jock because you live in Europe. It seems to be a thing in French life in general. There's always a lingerness to just go absolutely bananas and start throwing your toys out the pram and start going absolutely ballistic.
I've dealt with enough French chefs to understand that in my professional career.
I think that's all chefs, my man.
No, the French are even worse. They're a little bit more passionate.
It's in every sport, even the football team, the rugby team. And as I said, take away the Jago things. We'll talk about that later. I mean, Miafu gave away about his daft penalty, which led to a Scottish try at one point because Dart was out of the ruck and he took him about 3 meters out of it.
What
Marchand
was
gave away
Marchand
about
doing?
Yeah, he
Into the
was there in
nine,
the way
like,
of Ben White, and he also took out Russell, which stopped a very promising French attack. Um, who else? There's loads of instances. They started flying up offside. They started missing all
but
their tackles. They started just chucking the ball, and I
at the
felt bad
same
for the
time,
two wingers.
you have to look at what Scotland was doing. Scotland was not giving
Oh,
them enough
It was
time
all
to
Scotland
to
getting
set.
into their head.
No, but this is what I'm saying. If you go look at the ruck time, that would make Jordan Hendrickson look like a snail. They were literally, the ball was out that ruck as fast as it was available. There was hardly any use it from Angus Gardner. It was literally, there's
Yeah.
the ball, pass, and the French were like, wait, where are we? Because they didn't have enough time to set up.
Yeah, well, it was literally as well. Scotland won everything. That was 50-50. Like, instance for the first Scottish try, Russell drops it behind him, and France just switch off.
Yeah,
They
correct.
just assume that it's been knocked on, and Graham picks it up, just runs in unopposed. Nobody touches him. Like, that's what Scotland did and what France didn't do. They literally just took every break, and they scored 50 points. They could have scored more. I mean, Kinghorn threw a very poor pass. If he had nailed it to Graham, they would have scored another try.
Correct.
And there was one or two other instances where Scotland just ran through the French line. France got 2 yellows, to be honest. They could have got more. And yeah, they came back at the end when, as I said, Scotland lost about half their team. But like, I know they're lucky they're playing England. I can't believe I'm saying that, by the way. That's an absolutely hilarious sentence to say, and I love that I get to say it. They're lucky they're playing England, because if they were playing like a fired up Italy or a fired up Ireland after getting that sort of a smacking, they'd be in real trouble, like in Paris next week.
I think if France played Italy this weekend, they would lose.
Or Ireland, yeah. Like, if they've had a fight now, I don't want to support England, but I kind of have to because it's the only way. Ireland or Scotland, who I wouldn't mind winning the tournament too much either, will win it. But I mean,
maybe they can draw.
Yeah, that's probably the best solution. But
Scotland win, then it's okay, right? Yeah.
I don't see it. But yeah, as I said, Scotland, hats off to them. It's the best Scottish performance I've ever seen. Probably the best Scottish performance in about 25 years. And they have, I still have small questions over them, but less now. Like, they need to just back this up. They need to beat us, because we're the white whale, aren't we? They haven't beaten us in 12 attempts. We are
Now,
their
talking
white
about
whale.
the white whale, we do have to move on. But talking about the white whale getting harpooned by the Italian mafia.
Yeah.
What?
It's funny.
You mentioned him, Ancello. What a game from that guy. Those lines, he was like a surgeon.
Right, he could literally.
But like, I mean, Italy were good, but how poor was England, guys? Like, let's just go to England's game.
Yeah.
Their structure, their defensive structure, their attack patterns, everything was wrong. Everything.
Great.
It was insane. I couldn't believe that Borthwick went with such an absolute dull game plan, and such an absolute. They just thought they would go.
Has Jacques is frozen? Or is Jacques just holding up his hand in such a way? I think Jacques dropped off, unfortunately. But yeah, I have to agree with you. And I mean, I saw people calling for Borthwick's head to roll this week. However, they've turned around and they've blamed it actually on the players, not management. I think the players underestimated.
Well, I think there's both. There's the element of both. England's game plan was so boring. I mean,
yeah, correct.
Like, they've played boring rugby before, but my God, that was literally about 100 times worse. which would have worked. It would have worked against previous Italian sides because genuinely previous Italian sides were so like France at times, so quick off the hop that they would have just went absolutely mental and started smashing people and just trying to end it. This Italy team is not that. They have the patience. They have the kind of, okay, you want to do that, fine, we'll do it back to you. We'll death by slow poison you back. And it worked because Italy have a number 12 that is as good as any of them in the game. And they have a forward pack that just keep getting through work, keep digging. Like Italy, as Tim said, weren't great. That's the worst thing for England. I think Italy were better against Scotland. I think Italy were better against Ireland than they were on Saturday. But like England, a bar Finn Smith's cross kick to Roebuck, which was a nice bit of attacking play. I can't remember one bit of England attacking play that actually like inspired me or had me going, yeah, that's some decent attacking pattern.
But I'm sorry, talking about carry on.
For me, England sort of Borthwick, I think, has sort of tried to take a page out of Russie's book in the beginning of 2016 when Russie took over. He went back to the basics. He went back to strong forward pack, a good kicking game. That's how we won the 2019 Rugby World Cup. I think England thought, let's do the same thing. But then South Africa have progressed from there, whereas England have not. Their game plan is so dull and boring. They kick away possession. They kick placements is not good enough. They are not accurate enough with their out of hand kicking. Their 9 kicking is not good enough. Their 10 kicking is not good enough. And I just think, they've been exposed by every team that wants to move the ball wide at any point will expose England. Scotland exposed England every time out wide. Italy went wide. They exposed England directly. I mean, that last try to win the game. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's nothing special there. That's just bad defense. It really was shocking defense. If you look at the cross tackles and even the kick, they overcommitted. They've done this again. They did it against Chisholm Colby in the Autumn Nations where Colby stepped Stewart on the wing, and they did it again. They overcommitted. The guy stepped in and beat him. And then it was very simple because it was just bad defense from there.
Yeah, Elliot Daly, of course,
it was a great support line to finish. But I mean, at the end of the day, man,
Elliot Daly had his Jordan over on
thank you for bringing
moments.
For bringing that up. This is the point I wanted to bring up. This might be controversial. I think Elliot Daly is done in international rugby. He was absolutely awful.
Did you see that one try where he got bounced? You literally see him on the side, like literally.
The first try, he got burnt.
Oh.
He got burnt as if he was standing still. The guy ran around him. The guy ran around him.
Yeah, he's a centre by nature, and he's never been the quickest guy. Put him at fullback at 33 against a very pacey Italian backline is literally about as mental as you get, because that Italy backline, it's not just Menicello.
He was exposed.
By God, Menicello's got wheels, but like Lina, Ioane, and Lorenzo Pani are all ridiculously quick as well. So he was always going to get skinned by somebody. And to be fair, I didn't expect
his whole game.
And then Menicello just ran over the top of him like he wasn't even there.
Yeah.
I mean, Italy's it's very simple to say England got outcoached. They got outcoached in the game. Quesada taught Borthwick a lesson on how to play rugby.
Can I ask Tim, can you please say a comment that you put out on Facebook?
Which one?
Where all the English fans say that they were going to win.
Yeah, so I said along the lines, I can't remember word for word, but I said, where are all my English friends? Where my English friends at? And it's laughable, basically, that they compared this England side to the South African side. And Pollock who?
Pollock,
but
who, by the way,
the point of
looked like he didn't even belong there because he was so out of it
That's
because
what I
there was
meant.
no.
He was
yeah,
the entity.
but to bring that back to like Pollock and all that, Borthwick took off Ben Spencer, who was controlling the game fine. If you want to go down England's tactics, are incredibly boring. Ben Spencer is probably the best man to do that.
Yeah.
He took him off after about 55 minutes, and then didn't bring on another sub until after Italy scored the winning try. Then he
Okay.
chucked on Smith, Pollock, and Alex and Ollie Chessum when it was too late.
Yeah.
Like, this is what Curb said about the your 6-2 not working. It could have worked for England. They literally chucked on all their players when Italy
But this is what I was
had the
talking
game
about
won.
coaching staff. You know what I mean? It's not the 6-2. It's the when they use substitutions, it's about player understanding, player management, and it's really about doing your research, not only on your opposition but your own team yourself.
Sorry,
Yeah, well, I
Tim,
think
your exact words. Tim's exact words were calling all my England friends. Where is your unbeatable team now? Compare England to the Springboks. Pollock who? That's exactly word for word.
I got excited, man. You know, they were calling themselves the best of the best. I mean, how disrespectful for a team like Ireland. They in their minds they had won the Six Nations before they even started the Six Nations. So
yeah, well, like it is funny watching the whole England versus France Grand Slam decider. Because look, at the end of the day, England have lost 3 games. They still have their Grand Slam decider in Paris. You know, like it's really a one spoon decider for them because they could finish joint last. But and they're not going to beat France, so they're going to finish 5th above a Wales side that only started playing in round 3. So, you know, congratulations, lads.
I mean,
But
they could
I
only
think,
cause the upset to give Scotland either the win or Ireland the win, depending on what happens.
Curbs, I will tell you this now, because if Italy win, England are going to finish 5th. If Scotland finish 1st and England finish 5th, they will not stop celebrating in Edinburgh for 20 years. I tell you that
I
right
agree.
now.
I agree.
Right now. They will not
agree.
stop this. And if England hand them the championship,
I have to disagree.
they will.
I have to disagree. I'm looking at the things right now. Italy's going up against Wales this weekend.
Yeah, so if Italy win, they'll finish above England, and they kick off before England.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah. I mean, since we're talking about it right now, we can also look at what's happening in round 5 and the last this week's URC games, which are catch-up games. But Ireland's hosting Scotland for the first game. I think that is going to be one killer of a game. I think Scotland's going to struggle.
You can flip a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do think Scotland is going to struggle at the Aviva.
Let me tell you. For me, it depends on who Ireland pick at 10.
Yeah, I think
they pick Pendergast, they lose. They pick Crowley, they win.
I think Scotland are going to do it because they cannot keep. Like, it is a case of probability, and if you keep losing to the same team, and a lot of them quite narrowly, you are eventually going to beat them. And if Scotland don't beat us now, not only, regardless of the championship, Scotland haven't won the Triple Crown since 1990, which is a major trophy. It's bigger than the Calcutta Cup anyway. To even win the Triple Crown and put the pressure on France, if they can't beat us in Dublin, if they can't get themselves hyped up to beat us in Dublin, when it's their best chance at winning the tournament since Italy joined and made Six Nations, they never will. So I think that it's sink or swim for Scotland this weekend, and I think they will, because I think they are probably a bit more complete than Ireland. If you were to base off how Ireland played against Wales and how Scotland played against France.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely going to be a thing. But then talking about the next game is Wales versus Italy. I think this could be the one that Italy could upset Wales and make sure that the wooden spoon stays there. I mean, this was genuinely the
It
game
is
to see
because
who was to
points
the
difference.
bottom. Yeah, this
Yeah, but
was
points
genuinely the
difference
game in the
wise,
past.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
It, I think Italy will do it because, as I said, Wales put in so much effort against Ireland, and an extra rest day cannot recover the fact that they made 244 tackles. And I don't think Italy even made 140. So I think Wales made well over 100 more tackles in their game than Italy did in theirs. And I think Italy are, again, I think Italy are further along in their journey than Wales. Plus, it's a chance for Italian history. They've never won 3 games in the same Six Nations campaign. And well, they probably won't finish in the top three. But if Ireland were to lose and Italy were to garner a bonus point and find a substantial winning margin, they could actually finish third. But yeah, if they get 3 wins, I'm sure they'll be delighted with that. So I think they will narrowly enough win
yeah,
Cardiff. I'm going to go Italy by 8.
yeah. So am I. And then of course the game that Ireland and Scotland want to go a certain way is France versus England. The first two teams definitely want England to win. If
Yeah.
they can't beat England or England can't beat France, they have to make sure that France doesn't win with the bonus points.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't. I think this is a case of either England win or France win with a bonus point. I can't see England keeping them under 4 tries.
yeah,
It's tough
Like,
because France.
with England and Ireland. I mean, Scotland beat Ireland, so Scotland win.
Yeah, well, like this is a case of do France do with France and lose the head in Murrayfield and then go the following week and lose the head again because that would be very French. Or do England like England? They have to respond, don't they? Like I could be saying this out of hope more than anything because they're utterly useless. But like they can't keep losing. Surely they can't. This team that won 12 games on the spin can't keep losing. Surely,
I don't think.
surely.
yeah,
I don't think England beat France. I think France
I
exposed
don't.
on the outside, just like Scotland did, just like Italy did.
Yeah, I do think France as well, but I unfortunately have to support England.
So
Um,
let's
if
also
we're,
be honest. Let's be honest.
Hey, worst nightmares. I have to
Whoever
support.
wins,
Yeah.
but if Scotland wins without a bonus point, all right, France just needs to win because then they win on points difference.
Points
points
difference.
difference.
Yeah. So that's the next thing. Unless Scotland run in 100 points and stuff like this, very unlikely, but it has happened in the past. South Africa did beat Italy 101-0 in 99.
Come on. I think Scotland might win in Dublin, but I don't think
No,
they're going to win
I'm
by
saying,
100 points.
There's no chance of that, my man, Curbs. I mean,
I'm just saying, putting
no,
100 points on a
I'm
team is
I'm pretty
possible.
confident about that. I'm pretty confident in saying that will not happen. I'm pretty
No, I know
damn.
that won't happen.
Pretty
But
damn-
what I'm just saying is,
I've been called biased towards Ireland before, but I think that's
Yeah,
fairly
I'm with
confident
you
to say
there.
we won't lose by
I'm
100
with you there,
points.
man. With you there.
my point was, it has happened. I'm not saying it will happen because it is Ireland. But yes, or unless England puts 100 on France because France is implode, which again very unlikely.
If England just beat France, well, if France can implode, they showed that on Saturday. But are England good enough to make them implode? The only way I see England winning is if they do. I suppose if that bloody stupid game plan does actually work and they just bore France to death. But I don't see that happening.
I think Ramos at fullback's too good.
Yeah, and I think their
Even at
wingers are
10.
too quick to give them. Give their wingers counter-attack opportunities are
14
horrendous.
and 15 are just too good for the English game plan to work.
Or the only other scenario I think England win is if France like just thing goes out the window and they get a load of yellow cards or they get a 20-minute red card or stuff along them lines. But
I've seen that happen in the first 10, 20 minutes and they get a straight red. Well, yeah, I think England's a good shot.
But yeah, but then going back to the URC, as you can see, Edinburgh and Ulster are playing their game. And at the exact same time on Friday is Connacht versus Scarlets. We definitely have to go Ulster against Edinburgh, and
Edinburgh. Edinburgh are too leaky. They have any good players they have are with Scotland. Ulster have got back three of their players, and Ulster want to finish in the top four. So yeah, that Ulster will not get.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Connacht Scarlets one is a little bit. I want to say Scarlets, but Connacht is
Connacht win that hands down.
Yeah, well, like talk about one for the viewers. That's going to be one dreadful game, but I'd say Connacht will win it. Yeah.
And then of course we got the Bulls hosting the Stormers. Stormers have been on a bit of a slump.
You guys are gonna hate. Well, you're gonna hate me, but I'm going Bulls.
God, like this is difficult for Munster to solidify their top 8 position. We probably want Stormers to win. But Stormers' form has been cat, which doesn't help anyone.
However,
really, but
we do get the likes of
do.
Duplessis now and Furey back this weekend, and most likely Sinatla as well.
The biggest positive I can think of is for this derby, at least since both sides joined the URC, because I don't know what it was like before that. Stormers typically do turn up in this derby more than the other South African derbies. They typically turn up to play the Bulls.
It's the north-south. It's north-south derby.
Yeah. And the Stormers have the Bulls only beaten the Stormers once since they both joined the URC or something like that. There's something mad
when we were up there.
Guys, we've been poor and it's in Highveld, yeah?
Listen, we've only lost them once in the URC. We've only lost the Bulls once in the URC, and that was up at Loftus. So, I mean, I'm not expecting the world. If we win, it's going to be a close win.
Put a beer bet. I mean, I'd love the Stormers to win, but I'm going to go with the Pint says the Bulls win.
Please soften them up. Munster are playing them in the Highveld in 3 weeks. So if you want to soften them up, lads, that would be greatly appreciated. And you'll be duly rewarded.
Thank you. But yes.
Buy us a pint for your wonderful Guinness and we'll be only too glad.
No problem. That's no problem, boys.
No, we do.
They're useless, but the Bulls.
Guys, we do have to talk about the dark arts of rugby.
I mean, there's dark arts and there's.
Gatia complaining about the Murrayfield home away changing room. Every other country's fine with it except for the French.
I mean,
that is the most French thing I've ever heard.
That's sour grapes, guys. That's sour grapes. At the end of the day.
But this is before the game. He was complaining about it.
Yeah, but guys, come on. I mean,
when Scotland put the pillar up,
it's a change room for Christ's sake. I mean,
South Africa. No. But wait, we were in that changing room, no problem, and we've got bigger guys than the French.
Guys, it's a change room. At the end of the day, your mind's gonna be focused on the game, and if it's you as a coach, if your players are getting distracted by a change room, then you're gonna lose that game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the infamous Scottish pillar was put up in about the mid-2000s, and that's when Scotland couldn't beat anyone for toffee. I think everyone felt bad and let them put it up. So that was before they had a bunch of South Africans in the team. But
Dora.
Careful, your girlfriend's listening, eh? But
she's gonna be giving out to me. I'm the one in the Italy top and Tim's in the Scotland top, so I'm gonna get a phone call once this goes up, giving out. But that's fine.
And then of course, obviously, with what happened this weekend, someone asked Marcus Smith about his plans to swap nations. Apparently, he has confirmed that he wants to go play for the Philippines, just so he can go play with his brother. When that's going to happen, we do not know, but apparently, he has confirmed it. And then, like I said earlier on, let's not talk about it too much. As you can see, Jago has been cited. I think he's going tomorrow for a commission.
Look, I want to be very careful when saying this because Jago has been caught doping before. So he doesn't seem like the most ethical individual in the world. And yeah, that was about as clear an eye gouge as you'll ever see. Should get at least the ban Estebet got. I'd argue longer because he did it twice. I thought Estebet got 12.
For me, he should get a longer ban. the fact that
I didn't
exactly
realize that. I thought maybe it was 8 weeks. No, but once what you just said now makes it okay. Cool. No, it's going to be worse.
No, I agree with Dora. He should get a longer ban. He's been caught doping.
Yeah.
He's done it the second time. This is now, Etzebeth has a pass, but Etzebeth grabs jerseys and shoves. But he's really, at the end of the day, he's never thrown a punch. He's never gotten he got his first red card in 130 caps. You know what I mean? Like, the dude might look like a thug, but he's not really a thug.
Yeah, well, what I say as well,
you do know Itzebeth does not like that label that he's been given. It's just because he lost his cool once that everybody's giving him that thing, and people say he's dirty because of that one game.
I think I said it on this podcast, and I gave out that Esteban didn't get a longer ban. So, like, to stay consistent, like, Jagu should get about 20 weeks at least, because eye gouging is the lowest of the low. What you can do. It is literally the lowest of the low. You can buy someone.
I've played rugby.
You're better off punching someone.
No,
you're better off. In my mind, I have more respect for someone that would punch a guy than a guy that would stick his fingers in someone's eyes.
Correct, 100% agree.
But don't forget, in Australia, someone got caught biting someone's penis.
Oh God, that's that's a completely different thing. But my God,
I don't know. That's some Ellen DeGeneres shit. I don't know.
I'll go find that I want to go for next week.
That's some
it has happened.
That's some Epstein files. That's some Epstein files.
I think it was a rugby league game, but someone has been caught fighting.
I don't know what to say about that. That's he should be on the island, bro. Yeah, he should be. But then, he should be shaking with the Trumpy and them.
Some other news that came out this week. Dave Rennie is the All Blacks coach.
I think it's such a mistake by the All Blacks. I genuinely think it's a mistake.
Have you heard who he wants to try to bring back into the international fold? Brodie Retallick.
Brodie Retallick? No.
He's in Japan.
No.
He's not retired.
He's in Japan. He's not retired. He's playing in Japan. And he wants to try to bring him back.
Yeah.
And also,
but this is the
same thing Scott Robertson wanted to do.
No.
Yeah, but this is the issue. In fact, I literally thought Brodie Retallick was retired until I read it during the week. I just assumed he went, but why not?
I thought he was retired. I thought Brodie Retallick was retired. But I mean, guys, this for me is the wrong move by New Zealand Rugby.
It is.
However, he is the first Pacific native coach.
Yeah.
For New Zealand.
If you look at Jamie Joseph, would have also been a Pacific native.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that this was the first Pacific native.
Jamie Joseph deserved the job, and he would have brought Tony Brown back. It makes sense.
Only after the World Cup.
Only after the World Cup.
Yeah, but
it would have happened.
Yeah.
Dave Rennie
at
the Wallabies was average, in my eyes.
Yeah, but what I will say is Rennie was doing okay until obviously his project was ruined. Eddie Jones came in and made him the laughing stock of World Rugby. But that's all he did. He was okay. They beat England in a test series.
Jamie Joseph was the man for the job. I think they really,
I agree.
really dropped the ball.
I mean, like what you look at Joseph did with Japan in the 2019 World Cup, and even in the last World Cup, they were quite close to beating Argentina and getting out of the pool again.
Yeah,
they were fairly unlucky against Argentina. Jamie Joseph. He beat Ireland, he beat Scotland, he beat Wales, he beat all these Tier 1 nations. He got very close to a lot of them as well. I think he would have been better. I don't know why he hasn't been picked, to be honest, if it was between him and Rennie. I don't think Rennie is a bad coach, but do I think Rennie will get New Zealand up enough to win a World Cup in 18 months? I don't think so.
I agree.
Depending, and the draw
not going to win.
And the draw is literally, won't they play? Is it France or England in the quarterfinal? Well, England.
No, they play South Africa in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's where I imagine that is. Well, you never know. Australia could beat them on a good day in Australia, but in general, if they end up playing Springboks in the quarterfinals, you can't rule out New Zealand, but they're not going to beat that South African side in a World Cup quarterfinal. I don't see it with
Yeah,
Greg Hughes' coach, unless
I
he
mean,
goes away and proves me completely wrong.
I personally was dumbfounded. I was shocked. I thought that Jamie Joseph had it in the bag.
Yeah,
But I thought
so
that
did I.
about Robertson previously when he didn't get it. So
Yeah. But then, of course, also, as you can see on that thing there, Steve Borthwick has been given RFU backing as pressure builds amid dismal Six Nations. However, a lot of pundits are blaming the players, not the
expand his
coach.
game plan. I
Yeah.
agree
Yeah,
that
but I suppose
is not right, but he needs to adapt, and he needs to be more adaptable throughout the game. I think he's too committed to his game plan, and when it doesn't work, he doesn't have sort of a plan B. And when he does have a plan B, his players are not able to implement his plan B.
Yeah.
yeah. I
And
mean,
then, of
of
course,
course, it didn't help against Italy with Itoje getting a stupid yellow and Underhill getting a yellow. But in general, yeah. I mean, if I was England, I'd be looking at Northampton's manager, Phil Davidson. Whether he'd go to England is a different thing. But he plays very good attacking rugby. A lot of the players in that team are Northampton.
but
They could
what's it called?
I don't think they are.
James Haskell actually backed Borthwick, and he says not because he's a mate or he's worked with him, it's just you believe the players were dismal. But I mean, also
Yeah, but then
moving on now.
you see other players not backing him. You see, I saw
Yeah.
Dan Cole said he should probably go. I saw Will Greenwood questioning him. Like,
And
there's lots of
Dan Cole's been around, eh?
yeah. And
This
Dan
is
Cole
a man
played under Borthwick.
who's been around. This is a man who knows what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Cole played under Borthwick for both Leicester and England.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
Yeah. But then, of course, as you can see, state of the URC, snorting bulls await the Stormers. Stormers, of course, really wanting to get the season back onto a roll. And especially
but I suppose
with the news that came out this week being Western Province rugby in a professional manner doesn't exist anymore. It has now been absorbed into the Stormers. As you can see, the Currie Cup team, formerly known as Western Province in the Currie Cup, will now compete as DHL Stormers 23. The junior professional under-20s will be renamed the DHL Stormers Bolts. Amateur rugby, meaning like the guys that play underage and everything like that, which is still under the juniors and everything, will still be play under the Western Province flower. So Western Province hasn't completely died out. It's just when it comes to the professional nature under the franchise, it's all DHL Stormers. It's no longer, and this is obviously to go with the corporate identity and everything. The red dizer is not being taken away. It is still going to be incorporated into the jerseys from now on because they do know that is part of the heart of rugby in the Cape, along with the blue and white hoops.
Let me tell you, as a Province supporter, as a Stormers supporter, this is absolute hogwash. And I wish I could say what I really feel on this podcast because I can't.
The thing is, I've heard both sides, and I've heard people saying they like it. I've heard people. Scott Berger Senior.
There's nothing you can
call
tell
it
me.
Absolute rubbish.
There's nothing on this planet you can tell me that Western Province cannot play in the Currie Cup. Ridiculous. We're talking about over 100 years of tradition. Forget this. I am so anti this. Quote me on this. I'll support the Sharks.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no.
I
will
support Munster. My God.
All right, that's fine.
You know what? This is a good time to bring this up.
Can I see you for one second, Curbs? Right? I've got two shout-outs quickly, yeah? Two of my favorite teams did the job this weekend. So the first one, is my team interfering. My boys went to Cologne this weekend. We dominated 37-10 in the Bundesliga 2. Yeah, so shout out to my boys for that one. And the other one is completely nothing to do with rugby, but it's ice hockey. And it's my boys in Straubing, the Tigers, who have finished second on the log. And a personal shout out to my friend Justin Scott, who plays for Tigers. Keep doing it, brother. I'll see you in the playoffs. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that one. Yeah.
But on that note, guys, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know your views and your thoughts below. How do you feel about province being incorporated into the Stormers and everything? How do you feel about what has happened in the Six Nations?
Great.
Your view on Gatier's views on Scotland's changing room. Like every other country hasn't had a problem, but now France has a problem. Borthwick, what are your views on Borthwick? What are your views on the English team?
Borthwick
let us know.
Borthwick in. We want Borthwick in. Say we want Borthwick in.
Stay. The nigga, no chance.
Also, please remember to follow us on our social medias and everything. But I mean, guys, I'm absolutely loving it. I really do want to know your views this week. I want to know, what are your views of what we spoke about? Like, what do you think? Do you think next year's Six Nations, as much as I'm a Southern Hemisphere boy, is going to probably be the toughest tournament next year? Because if Italy keeps making leaps and bounds,
England are going to win the Grand Slam. Can you say that with a straight face?
Let's be a little bit more realistic. I think it's more either France, Scotland, or Ireland.
Oh, more realistic. Italy are going to win the Grand Slam. Or Wales. Wales might win the Grand Slam next year. More chance than England.
If Italy wins the Grand Slam next year, I will put an Italian flag here on my arm.
I second that. I'll do that too. Not the flag. I'll do the rugby insignia.
Yeah. Rather do that. It's a little bit more. Yeah. So people know.
I'll go and start a gladiator fight in the centre of Rome if Italy win the Grand Slam next year. Pick out one random guy and have a gladiator fight with him.
I tell you what, I'll fly there and meet you, and we can do it together. I'll fight you.
Oh yeah.
I'll fight you.
Can you live stream it for me? Live stream it. We'll put it.
You coming to Irish game? We will fight in the Coliseum. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, no matter.
You cannot be like this on my head.
I'll have to start training now because they've got England away. One of their away games is easy England, so I'll have to start training now.
But yes, I mean, I think there's a lot happening in rugby this week. I mean, we're going straight into URC, and we're literally going into the final 6 games next week. And I think Gatier moaning about Scottish changing rooms now is ridiculous. I was thinking, they're talking about how great the try scoring guys from France are this weekend, and I'm like, yeah, but you guys don't play in June, July because your guys are busy playing there. Which then makes me think, when we had the Rugby Nations tournament coming up this year, are France even going to be considered into the number 1 position? Because we know they do not travel with their first team, and they're going to have to play against New Zealand. I mean, it's insane the teams that they have to play against.
Yeah, I think they're playing Argentina as well.
Yeah, and I mean, like, okay, cool. You guys want to be great in rugby, and then you don't want to bring more
points than England. They'll probably still get more points than England. So, and England are playing one of their away games in England, and they'll probably still lose it. So,
yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I'm actually just wondering how is it going to all go down, because we know France doesn't travel heavy in that period. Are they going to take it serious or aren't they? Because we know they don't take the June-July series seriously. They only take the home game serious. But yeah, that's food for thought for this week that we can talk about next week and see how they're going to carry on with that. But Dara, Tim, thanks very much for joining. Unfortunately, Jacques had to drop because his internet dropped. But he should be back next week with fiber because I see he put on the group that he's getting fiber tomorrow.
I'm just ecstatic he can spot.
But anyway, fellow champions, be well, go safe. Cheers.